What are some practical techniques families can start doing right away to better support a loved one with dementia?
Well, in this engagement work with our relational approach, it's very easy to say this and harder as a family caregiver, I think, to see it done and then internalize that and make it happen. So that's why I love collaborating in a session with families or caregivers so that it is a shared experience and there's natural learning from each other that can occur. So some of the techniques that I recommend for especially advanced dementia, but through all stages, is validation, which means saying yes, recognizing that their reality is their reality, and if it's harmless, you don't need to change that. If you think your mother is here and she passed away 5 years ago, it's not going to do me any good to say, oh no, Tabitha, remember,
Right.
she's not here anymore. So that is a very simple, practical tip that can make a world of difference in communicating and relating with somebody living with dementia. Join them in their reality. That's validation 101. Of course, there's theories and models and TED Talks and everything you can imagine about this topic. So I don't mean to water it down at all, but that is a very practical way. Meet somebody where they are. Find the levity in situations. A reminder that joy, humor, love, these are all human experiences that don't go away with the diagnosis. So it's okay to laugh. It's okay to demonstrate that there can be humor in something so serious.
Yeah.
Don't take life too seriously. I would say be creative and be curious. Notice the small things in someone's environment that can make a big difference. Like we talked about, just like the room, what the room looks like. So other things that might not be as noticeable, like noise, temperature, visual barriers. Vision is deeply impacted with the dementia diagnosis. We focus on the memory and a lot of other things, but something as simple as a desk being near somebody might be the reason why they're not comfortable moving around. It might seem to them that it's actually in their physical safe and unsafe to move around. So just kind of taking a step back and looking at the big picture to see what that unmet need could be. Simplify your communication and requests to somebody, whether it's activity-based, like I would be doing, giving one step at a time if I want something from somebody. And then being okay with long pauses, giving lots of extra time for processing. And this is challenging. I mentioned earlier that we do virtual programming as well, which we understand is not preferred for many people, but we have seen great results in those that we have set up virtual sessions with. But I bring that up because providing the extra long pause and time in a virtual setting is even more challenging because I don't necessarily have the other cues from a person to know, like, are they going to respond? Like, sometimes it's recommended to wait a full minute for somebody with dementia, advanced dementia, to process, reflect, and respond to a question. So as activity professionals, you might come in with a checklist of ideas. This has been a big reframing for me in this work. You might come in with a checklist of ideas you want to do or complete with the client, and you might do none of that. You have to be prepared to meet them where they're at and throw your plans out of the window and just be in the moment. So reframing what success looks like is what I would say to capture that story. Not asking if they remember something, and that's a hard one because it's such a natural thing and it's a great conversation starter. Do you remember when we did this? Do you remember this trip to Disneyland? Instead, you can encourage that conversation by saying, tell me about this picture. It looks like this is a person that you really loved. Tell me about them, and see what comes up. Instead of quizzical questioning or memory checks, just approaching with wonder and curiosity can really open the door instead of shutting down out of shame or unwillingness to